All right, happy Monday night, everybody. Welcome on into the Hat Creek Interior Studios. That's right, Hat Creek Interiors. You don't have to own a ranch to live like you do. Just go to Hat Creek Interiors in their showroom in Lubbock, 10101 South Slide Road, or hatcreek.us on the website. They ship anywhere. You're going to be amazed. All right, we got stuff to talk about as we flip the calendar over to December. I mean, where do we want to begin? College football playoff rankings, the latest ones coming out tomorrow. Texas Tech, I believe, will be four. They ought to be four. We'll discuss that. Tech peaking at the right time. Is Texas Tech playing their best football at the best possible time? Rematch against BYU in the Big 12 title game. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Tell me why. And is BYU losing their head coach to Penn State? All of that plus Tech basketball, Lane Kiffin, good, bad, and ugly recaps of the weekend, and whatever else is on your mind is on the show tonight. You make use of that United Supermarkets chat line. Start texting in whether you're on YouTube, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, Facebook Live, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. They're on our page, or on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. Get in, invite your friends, share it with people. Let's have some fun on a Monday. In three, in two, good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com, where you start your day every day. You get those Raiderland hot links in the morning, brought to you by Jackson Brothers Meat Locker in Post, Texas. Great website. Check it out. Place your order. Get some great jerky. Holiday meats, cheeses, more. They ship to you. Jackson Brothers Meat Locker in Post, the official meat locker of Raiderland. Also tonight, brought to you by Southlands College, the good folks over in Levelland. They got over 100 different program specialties you can major in. They, we like to say the road to Raiderland runs through Levelland. If you're starting your college career or postgrad or anything, and you're knocking out, whatever you want to do, they've got it for you in Levelland at South Plains College. And of course, the gold standard in farm and ranch appraisals, realty, sales, buying or selling a farm or ranch in Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico. Yeah, you get the idea. Nobody better, Middleton and Son. Go to their website. You'll find out why. They were good enough to broker the sale with Taylor Sheridan and the 4.6s. I reckon they can probably help you out if you're looking to buy some farm or ranch land here in the immediate area or even beyond. Maybe you're looking into New Mexico. And like I said, Oklahoma, you got it, Middleton and Son. And everybody gets in on the United Supermarkets chat line, the official supermarket of Raiderland and Texas Tech Athletics. James has the right idea. He gets in. Thumbs up. The early arrivals. Let us know the audio is good. The video is good. Good to see you, James. Hope the Thanksgiving holiday was fantastic. We visited on Saturday on Raiderland Rewind, brought to you by Live Life Well Clinic of Lubbock. But, that was Saturday. Then there was Sunday, and everybody had to go back to work. So how are we doing today? Everybody good? Looking forward to hearing from you tonight. A variety of things to discuss. Tasty. Very tasty. So, is Texas Tech peaking at the right time? I would submit they are. I said Saturday, I thought Baron Morton played his best game of the season, maybe the best game of his career at Texas Tech. Was it against a great team? No. But he looked great against a team he should look great against. He looked healthy. Liked the way he threw the ball. Well, you get the idea. But the overall team, I've been critical of the offensive line at different times for different reasons. You're 11-1. People would say, Hyatt, how can you be mad at any unit? Well, I can, and I'm not mad. I think people misconstrue some of my critiques, which a critique is not always a criticism. Many people mistake critiques for criticism. Critiques are merely observations saying, good, this is bad, this can be better, anything else. Are they a bad offensive line? Good heavens, no. You've got a 1,000-yard rusher. Are they a bad offense? No, they're not. But we're grading on a different level and curve this year in Raiderland, aren't we? We're not talking about Tech trying to beat Baylor or TCU or UCF. We're talking about Texas Tech trying to beat Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, Indiana, Texas A&M. Fill in the blank. Where do you want to go? So we grade on a different level, don't we? So are they peaking at the right time? Has this team played their best football yet? You know, you tell me. Then whatever else we want to get into tonight. The idea of the rematch with BYU, good or bad? I think it's good. One, you've already beat them, and there's an old song. It's hard to beat a good team twice. Yeah, it is. But if you look, I meant to look up the actual numbers, but I'm just going to go ballpark on this. That we talk about, it's hard to beat a good team twice or whatever. If you look at the NFL in particular, which is where you see this more often than not, teams in the same division, playoffs, whatever, the better team wins significantly at a higher rate in that third matchup than the losing team. All right. You're better than BYU. You truly are. So the rematch to me doesn't bother me. And here's another reason why it doesn't bother me from a tech standpoint. The thing they have to do well, is what you take away best. They have to run the football in order to have any chance to throw it. And you're the best run defense in the country. That's why I love this. I would hate to see Tech have a rematch against a healthy Arizona State team with Sam Leavitt who just wants to throw it all over the place. I think that's the most dangerous team to Tech, is a team that just wants to come out and throw it 70 times during the game. All right, let's get it going. James gets it going on the United Supermarkets chat line. Jeff jumps in on our YouTube channel. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. We want 700 subscribers by the end of the week. I know you can get us there because everybody who's watching on YouTube, you hit thumbs up, you share it, you invite people in. Same thing on Facebook and Twitter. I haven't seen the level of competition the last few weeks to determine if the O-line has climbed out of the marginal hole, but the rest of the team trending way up. I get you. I understand what you're saying there, Jeff. And I'm with you that the level of competition hasn't been that great. But they're doing good. They're doing good things. Can we see a team that won't false start in the red zone? That would be handy nice. I mean, if that's all you did, if that's all you do in the postseason, not a single false start, first down, third down, red zone. You can have it on second down, okay? Hey, Lonnie shared it on Facebook. Lonnie's a good man. We appreciate that. Robert Christopher on Facebook. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. A healthy Terrence Carter Jr. makes the O-line better. It makes the O-line better from the standpoint of it certainly allows for a quick release if you're Baron Morton to get rid of the ball. Well, I'm happily married, but I do appreciate it. Missing a toe. Again, if I were single, I don't know. No. Dallas jumps in on Facebook. It's hard to beat a good team twice. That's why I'm not worried about BYU. See what he did there? See what the Tech fan did there? Trolling the BYU people. Trolling the nicest fans in America. This absolutely sucks. I hate this matchup because there is no sports hate whatsoever for BYU. How can anybody other than Utah, and that's, what's the word, fratricide or something like that, or it's brother on brother or whatever, that's Utah and BYU. That's like the only people that can hate each other out there in that deal. How can you hate BYU? There is no sports hate. I want somebody other than BYU to get good and challenge Tech in the coming years, so it's not BYU. I mean, if Solani Sataki and Joey McGuire were any more chummy, if you listen to Sataki on the, and you probably didn't, on the Big 12 teleconference earlier today or anything, I mean, he's talking about, going to dinner with Joey and talking and whatnot, and, speaking into existence this matchup and everything. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. Say something bad about Joey McGuire. He sucks at bowling. You're a crappy softball player, Joey. You're going down. If anybody gets the reference, I will be incredibly impressed if you get the reference to the movie that's from. I had to clean up the language a little bit. By the way, is Sataki going to Penn State? Is Penn State going to get BYU's coach? And is that a real deal? Alan Corbin, our former Utah correspondent in Raiderland, now he's back in Texas. But he has his ear to the ground when it's going on with BYU and Utah. Over the weekend, he texted me. He said, "Hey, man, I'm hearing Sataki, Penn State, real." I'm like, no, come on. I'm not buying that. I'm buying it now. On 3 Sports reporting, Sataki having to address it in his media availability today. Is that a real thing? Is it a big thing? Will it matter this week? James on Facebook. Vegas with the big spread agrees with you on beating BYU again. It opened up international markets, far, far away places that rhyme with Ovada at 13. I thought, golly, that's high. I was thinking like 10.5. Circa Sports, which is an incredibly well-respected book in Las Vegas, opened it at 11 yesterday, their traditional Sunday afternoon opening, and it got hammered to 13 real quick. Unbelievable. Here we are. We're living in a world where Texas Tech is almost a 2-touchdown favorite, right? A 2-touchdown favorite in the Big 12 title game. Wendy jumps in on Facebook, or no, pardon me, YouTube. West Virginia exposed the right side of her offensive line. Right side's been exposed for a while. Now, they've had protection problems and you name it. It's nothing new. West Virginia didn't do it. Jeff, we will roll BYU 20+. Well, we can go back to the post-game radio interview with the Tech Network, and Joey McGuire, not in the heat of the moment, but I mean in the immediate after effects, saying, we should have blown them out. That Texas Tech probably left 21 to 23 points on the board with that 5 field goal day in Lubbock. Is Texas Tech any better or worse? They're probably better. A little healthier. Morton's probably a little healthier. Is BYU any better? What's different? They still have to run the ball. LJ Martin. You could say LJ Martin, their running back. He's healthier. Well, it was an upper body deal. It wasn't so much a leg deal going into that game that they were concerned about. And again, Texas Tech is the best rushing defense in college football. It's not idiotic to say that Texas Tech could, maybe should, win by more than they did in Lubbock. Ryan on Facebook. Kalani supposedly is in talks with Penn State. Yes, we were talking about that earlier. We were talking about the On 3 reports, the multiple reports in the media and otherwise. And, of course, he's not. His agents are. Gary on YouTube, has this year's 2 shutouts ever happened before by a Tech team? Oh, yeah. Actually, Mike Leach's first team, I think, had 3 shutouts with Greg McMackin as the defensive coordinator. Yeah, so 2 shutouts. Yeah, Tech's done that a couple of times over the years. I would say many, probably. But not recently. JCWT, a girl in Joey Presser today had college rematch numbers, and they seemed on par with your NFL numbers. Coaches share agents reminder a few good men. Joey, JCWT gets it. Going down, Jack. I can't help you. Robert Christopher gets in. You guys are the best audience. You're a lousy softball player. Robert Delgado, I predicted a 10-2 record. He did. I have no way of proving this, but I'm taking it. One better than what I predicted. There you go. Old Texas Tech man, 91-44. I'm here. I saw Tech point spread went up to 13.5. Yeah. It opened 13.5. International markets. I think the domestic markets tried to hang a number thinking, golly, Tech 11-1, ATS. Maybe we put this number here and get immediately. I don't know what the buyback is this week on BYU. You know, when it tickles 14, will people start buying BYU? Will they go, really? I mean, a major conference championship game against 2 one-loss teams that we're hanging a 2-touchdown number? Well, we say that knowing that Texas Tech has had one of the greatest years against the spread in the last 25 years, this century, of Power 4 teams. And doing it winning games, not, going 9 and whatever, 10 wins, ATS, and some of those were losses that you covered. No. They're hanging 20, 20.5, 23, this and that. You're covering them. Just really quite sick. Jeff, I don't know if Satake leaves or not. Hold on. But I sure appreciate the distraction during championship week. Yeah. I mean, again, we like BYU. We hate to see this. However, I really didn't have Satake and Penn State on my radar. And this is nothing against either side of the equation here. I just did not, whatever. But we go back to when they fired James Franklin and all the steam and all the heat was on Matt Rule at Nebraska, who doesn't beat anybody of consequence. And at least James Franklin beat guys who had numbers beside their names when they played. Matt Rule, not that. We can have this discussion at another time, but Penn State is another program that I don't think they realize where they are in the new world order of college football. Has there been an update on Griffiths? Sorry for spelling no worries, Mitch. And if they did an update on it today, I didn't see it. I think the biggest thing that Joey McGuire said in media today was everybody who could play against West Virginia can play against BYU. I'm hoping and thinking that Griffiths got pulled out of that thing out of an abundance of caution. Is there another kind? We'll see. But that is an undercurrent story that we have to pay attention to. Meanwhile, back on the YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, Texas Tech, the only team in college football this season to win all 11 games by 20 points. Factual, I believe. Dallas, Kennedy. But you don't want to be a Kennedy in Dallas, do you? I had the same number of rushing yards in the first half as West Virginia. They were minus whatever for a while. At the end of the first half, I think they did have positive rushing numbers, but yeah, brutal. His name is Michael. He's on the YouTube. He didn't say he was going to Penn State. If he does, I think it won't be till after the playoffs if they make them. Talking about Satake and BYU. Well, no, he's not saying anything. Not saying anything about it. Of course, he's not saying he's going to Penn State. He's not Lane Kiffin. With all these, Jeff, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, with all these coaching changes and the big contracts thrown around, what kind of raise is Joey going to get when he wins the Big 12 and a couple of playoff games? A big one. I don't know. Where do you want to start? Well, I mean, he's going to get a raise. So I think we're probably going to be looking at like 6-7 right off the bat. Go from there. Where do you want to go? 8-9? What's the number? What's the fair number? He's going to get a big raise. Chris on Facebook, Penn State seems to not have had a plan when they fired Franklin. It sure looks like they didn't. Or here's the deal. They had a plan, but it was unrealistic. that at Happy Valley, they think that, it's 1978, it's 1985, that we're Penn State. We just roll out and hang out the, you know, coaching vacancy sign and we get whoever we want. And they're not dealing in the reality of the world of college football anymore. I think I've seen that over the last 25, 35 years at various and different coaching searches all around the country, not just Penn State. But I think you're right. I really think they thought that by firing Franklin early, that coaches would be lining up to come to Penn State and coach thick-legged white guys. And it just ain't that way. You know? It just ain't that way. Gary, softball player reference, a few good men. Interesting on the softball player reference still. Elucidate more. JC Double T. My last word on defense, on defense of BYU in college football. Committee comp for SEC Elite is Tech. BYU below that line. Comp should be BYU. Tech is that much better. I think both should be in. I think if BYU loses and you get weirdness going on, they might be left out. Jones 3 and Micah Hudson look good. Yeah, they play together a lot. Scout team, backups. They're used to throwing to each other. And I've seen that. We've seen that over the years. When certain backups get into the game that they're used to working with each other, it just clicks. And I think you saw a little bit of that with Jones the 3 and Hudson the 1. He used to be the 1, something like that. Debbie, are they going to put Texas in the playoffs? I sure hope not. ESPN's trying really hard, aren't they? A lot of the national media is trying really hard because it's not who you beat, it's who you lost to. Look at who we lost to. Oh, but don't look at who we lost to if it's Florida. And don't pay attention to that one. But if it's Ohio State, yeah, they're going to try. OCDC deserves a big raise. DC deserves a big raise. The whole coaching staff deserves a big raise. They'll get them. They've got escalating clauses, by the way. Everybody going to get paid some big bonuses. Don Williams, I think, if he hadn't already published that, I'm sure Don and the AJ will have the bonuses for making the Big 12 title game and making the college football playoff. There's some coaches that will make 50 to 75% of their salary, what their actual base salary is. 75% of that they're going to get in bonus too. Pretty good. Is Wood one and done if Tech wins a game or two in the playoffs? Will Kirby up the pay to keep him? Could be. If he wants to be a head coach and somebody gives him a head coaching job, he's gone. Now, if it's a coordinator for coordinator position, Tech, I think, will pay to keep Shield Wood around 100%. But if it's a head coaching job, dude, take the head coaching job. I get it. I understand. Nobody's leaving Tech. Let me put it this way. Nobody's leaving Tech because of money. Okay? Not a single player, not a single coach will leave Texas Tech solely on money. Jeff, when you get fired a year after making the playoff, why would anyone want to coach at Penn State? Because it's an opening and they're handing out money. But I get you, I understand, but that's the deal. And it's a great question, Jeff, and you've got to understand the mentality of a lot of coaches that they think they're smarter than the next guy. They're better than James Franklin. They can do better than James Franklin. James Franklin was an idiot. I'm smart. I know how to win at Penn State. I can do it. You give me the resources that clown had. Holy crap, watch me go. You have to understand the mindset of a lot of coaches, Jeff. The psychology of the coach is I am smarter than the guy I'm coaching against every single game. Every single game. Wendy asked on our YouTube channel, do you think this year's Texas Tech team will have success in the SEC? Yes. How do you think we would have ended up playing for the SEC title? Defense, defense, defense. Tech's defense is as good or better than anybody in the SEC. All right. There's a stat called DVOA. Go look it up, see what it means, understand it, learn it. DVOA in football analytics. Check it out. BYU or A&M, better win, better loss. What do you mean? BYU or A&M? I mean, beating BYU, I think, is every bit as good as beating A&M. Who did A&M beat this year? Right? Look at BYU. Well, who did they beat? So who do I think is a better team? BYU or A&M? If they were playing on a neutral field with a fair line, it's probably a field goal game either way. Jan, proud of the Lady Raiders. Yeah, undefeated. Tech men winning, but not sure how. Well, they're just kind of meandering around. JT Toppin scoring. When they're playing average to bad teams, they win. They got a long way to go right now. Now, in Grant McCaslin, I trust. Dude can coach, right? Dude can coach. We know that. We know that to be true. Skins on the wall. I'll give him time. This team obviously needs time to come together, gel, figure out roles. Lawan Watts looks lost. The three-point shooting is abysmal. Stop it. Quit it. You're not a good three-point shooting team. But we're supposed to be. We recruited good shooters, and they're all good. Well, they're not. So quit shooting three-pointers. Go to the rim. And when competition gets better, we may be in trouble. Not looking good. Well, you're going to find out because what do you got? You got LSU, you got Arkansas, you got Duke with Northern Colorado thrown in. So 3 of your next 4 games are going to be your best non-conference games before you get to Big 12. You better take 2 of 3, in my opinion. All right. Right now, you are sitting. I just happen to have this written down, don't I? 30 in Hoops HD, nitty gritty rankings. Not bad, not great. 30's okay. You've been worse this time of year. Bracketville, 6 seed, down from a 4 seed about a week ago. But we have high expectations for this team, don't we? They're talented, aren't they? That's all right. JCDD, Penn State going to end up with a Sandusky starter kid unless they hire the BYU coach. Woo, that's weird and awkward, and I don't want to get into it. Flatland Sports jumps in our YouTube. Had the Big 12 stayed together, Texas Tech conference schedule would have been, and then he's gone. Would have been better, would have been worse, would have been different, would not have BYU, and you wouldn't have the expansion, And that's the fascinating deal. Let's say expansion didn't happen. OU Texas still in. Nothing changed. But do you have NIL? Is Cody Campbell here? Do you have the portal? Are you doing what you're doing? So we get into the idea of, Big 12 stays together. Then and this is why we have alt history on What If Wednesday. Then what's the domino effect of the Big 12 staying together? If nothing changed, if we can't go out toe-to-toe talking about we Texas Tech, well, then things are different. But it did, and it is, and they are. Last year, we said it would take until the middle of December to gel. Let's see where we are against Duke in New York City in a couple of weeks. Well, I agree with that. I'm just saying right now, this is a team that's just meandering around. The offense looks lost, and the three-point shooting is abysmal. It just is. Will that change? Why will they hit more three-pointers against LSU, Arkansas, Northern Colorado, and Duke before Christmas? I hope they do. We'll see. So who would they be playing this weekend? Mizzou? I have no idea what that means. I do know that we're in the green, white, checkered finish period for our NASCAR fans. Last comments, questions, get them in. We will be with you tomorrow. Tuesday's best on the website, theraiderland.com. We will archive this on the website, theraiderland.com, here in just a few minutes. We ask that you invoke the power of five. Five of you wonderful people, go there on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or anything and tell the good people at South Plains College, thanks. Thanks for supporting what we do. Middleton and Son, great Facebook page as well. Great website. United Supermarkets and then Hat Creek Interiors, all of them on Facebook. Do the Power Five. Go in there and tell them thanks for supporting what we do in Raiderland. Hey, and if you own a business or you know somebody who does and wants to make money, tell them they can advertise with us. Get a hold of me. Easy to find. I think DMs are open on Twitter, so you can do that, or hit us on the Facebook page for Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Green, white, checkered. Indeed, it is. James, do you think the U or Notre Dame will be the last seed in the tournament? Last seed in tomorrow night? No idea. No idea. Helmet sticker to that ESPN reporter that had to camp out all weekend in Oxford waiting on Lane. Yeah, Marty Smith. That's as bad as waiting on the decision from Brett Favre. Marty Smith. Good man. I've met him a couple of times. Well, you only meet somebody once, but I've had a chance to interact with him. He used to cover NASCAR back in the day. He's a good dude, actually. Feel bad for him having to do some of the stuff for ESPN. All right, you guys are the best. Share this. Put it out there in the Ethernet, out there on the wing of whatever it is that makes this stuff go. But we do appreciate the hell out of you. We'll see you tomorrow at the Raiderland.